What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Rock and Roll True Stories. And let's get started with today's news. So, James Hetfield last week appeared at the Peterson Automotive Museum to talk about his exhibit Reclaimed Rust, which shows off some of his cars, and they showed off some Metallica memorabilia as well. And it was his first public appearance since coming out of rehab, and he fielded some questions from fans who were in attendance. So, one fan in particular asked Hetfield about the next studio album from Metallica, to which he responded, "That's a great question. We don't know. Right now, I'm sitting in the Peterson Museum," he would laugh, "and I don't know what's going to happen next. That's the beauty of this. We'll sit down and figure out what works best for us." He'd go on to say, "Whatever is coming up, we don't know, and we kind of thrive off the fear of the unknown, a bit, and being scared just enough to feel alive." So if you guys remember, Metallica cut short a lot of their 2019 touring because Hetfield entered rehab to deal with some addictions he was dealing with at the time. And the band will be playing a date on March 28th. It'll be their first concert since Hetfield has come back as part of the All Within My Hands benefit show. So I wouldn't hold your breath for the next Metallica album. It's probably going to be a long time. If you guys remember, Saint Anger came out in 2003, and then we waited 5 years for Death Magnetic, and then they did Lulu in 2011, 2012, which was widely panned. And then in 2016, which almost feels like yesterday, we saw Hardwired to Self-Destruct. So this is a band who likes to take their time to put out records, and I kind of wonder if they've sat down and actually started coming up with ideas for a possible follow-up record to their 2016 album. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Let's go into our next news story. So it was announced this morning that Guns N' Roses are going to be doing a massive stadium tour across North America this summer. So they had only booked dates up until I think the middle of June, which where they were going to play in Europe. And then there was some people wondering, are they going to finally sit down and record a new album? Well, the Never Ending in This Lifetime, not in this lifetime tour, is going to be going on all the way through August of this year. So they've announced the following cities. They're going to start on July 4th in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They're going to go through Philly, Detroit, Toronto, Washington. If you guys want to see the full list, I've linked to it down below. But they're not going to be playing a ton of Canadian cities. I think the only one they got on their radar is going to be Toronto on July 13th. But what's incredible is that they're playing like baseball stadiums. So they did that back in 2016 and 2017. But I feel like they've been on the road so long, and people are tired of them touring, that I don't know if they're going to be able to fill out these stadiums. But they're also going to be competing with the Motley Crue and the Poison and the Def Leppard tour that's going to be going on. And these aren't cheap tickets. So I think for a lot of people to afford to go to both shows might be asking a lot, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, speaking of Guns N' Roses, if you guys saw the Super Bowl yesterday, then you might have noticed that Guns N' Roses song Patience showed up in a Super Bowl ad, and there were several rock bands who showed up on Super Bowl ads. So Guns N' Roses song Patience appeared in the St. Archer Gold Beer Super Bowl ad, more specifically the intro of the song with Axl Rose whistling. Now, another band who made an appearance that probably surprised a lot of people was Pearl Jam. They had their new song River Cross appear for the first time in a commercial as part of the Super Bowl. It was part of Verizon's 5G service they were promoting. The spot was about 30 seconds long, but I guess there's a 60-second spot that you can watch the commercial and hear some of their new song. So the song is on their upcoming record Gigaton, which I hope I'm saying that right, or Gigaton. I hope I'm saying that right. That's going to be the album. That's going to be the band's first album in 7 years, and the last album they put out was in 2013, which was Lightning Bolt. And so far, Pearl Jam has released one song from their upcoming record, Dance of the Clairvoyants. I've heard it a bunch of times on the radio. I'm still trying to, let it sink in. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of the song. It's definitely quite a bit different, more electronic influences on that song. It sounds a little bit like what I hear a lot on alternative rock radio and what's considered alternative rock these days. And finally, our final news story is that Megadeth's Dave Mustaine recently played a show with his band in London on Friday, January 31st, and he talked a little bit in detail about his cancer and his treatment. So he confirmed to fans that he's 100% cancer free, at least according to his doctor. And he also talked about how he got through his treatment and his diagnosis, saying, "I know a lot of you guys know that I pray. I say that Megadeth Peace Sells. I pray every day. I say that in the song. I've said that since the second record. But I thought you guys every day. I thought about you guys every day too, and I thought about my family, and I got this power from you guys, and I just kept thinking about it. And on October 16th, I went to see the doctor, and he said you're 100% cancer free." So Megadeth's European tour is going to continue to roll on through February, and I still can't fathom that they're opening for Five Finger Death Punch, and they're also playing, I think, with the band Bad Wolves, they're called. Uh, and then recently, Mustaine announced that he's got a new book coming out that's going to be focused on their 1990 record, Rust in Peace. It's called Building the Perfect Beast. That's going to be coming out September 8th. So that does it for today's news, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to tune in at 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow